It is globally recognized that China's performance, I'd say over the last 4 decades in raising some 800 million people out of poverty, is an unparalleled success. It is difficult to recall or to identify any parallel achievement. So there's a lot that China can firstly take satisfaction in, and I think a lot that the world can learn from China in this performance. Let me say that at the current situation of crisis in the world of work brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, we have a very worrying situation because for the first time in very many years, levels of poverty in the world are actually increasing. And this is something that we need to focus upon right now in the recovery process. If we don't focus and if we don't deliberately say the elimination of poverty is our top priority, we do run the risk of going backwards and not forwards. So China's example is really tremendously important as we rededicate, as the international community has already done in the United Nations 2030 agenda, to the elimination of poverty in the world. When we had the Millennium Development Goals with the focus upon poverty, we were very pleased. We felt that the world had done a good job in reducing poverty. But if you disaggregate the figures, it's quite clear that the majority of the progress made was attributable to China's successes. Well, firstly, we believe that giving people opportunities for decent work is a key to eliminating poverty. It is literally a case of enabling people to work themselves out of poverty. So we do believe that what happens on labour markets is crucially important, providing quality employment. And China, with its strong economic growth, has done a great job in that respect. Well, I think the most important thing about the Chinese example is that China very consciously said eliminating poverty is the primary goal of our strategy. It's not just something that will happen because we grow quickly or because the world develops. It is a fundamental, explicit goal of policy. I would like to see more governments in the world, and indeed more of those of us who work in the international institutions say, everything needs to contribute consciously to the elimination of poverty. China did this, and China has the results to show for that effort. And now, of course, with the 14th five-year plan in preparation, we understand that China is going to give increased attention to developing its internal market, domestic consumption. And I think this is good at 2 levels. Firstly, I think it's good for Chinese people. This is an obvious pathway to better lives. It's not just getting out of absolute poverty, it's also developing the quality of life for people. So I think this is good for our Chinese friends initially. But I also think that this is going to be helpful to the global economy because the simple size of China's market and the fact that there will be this rebalancing of exports and imports means that this can give a boost, I think, to the global economy. And that will, of course, contribute to fighting poverty and hardship not only in China, but across the globe.